So, welcome. Welcome for this seventh webinar already. I am so glad that we progress little by little on this journey. And today I think it's also worthwhile to restate the purpose of this series, thriving on the outside, drained on the inside. It is not so much to speak about all the possible causes which lead to burnout or depression. No, it is more about having you experiencing or learning about methods you can practice yourself so that you come back to inner capacity or well-being. And today, the course I refer to is titled Emotional Demands, Exposure to Suffering. And this research document is more addressed to the healthcare sector. Nevertheless, also both in private and professional life, we can be exposed to emotional demands and exposure to suffering. Right now, I can tell you, I experience the two of them, I have to say, in our family. But in case you do experience things like that, this is a very little mini practice. This is not the main accent today, but why don't you take a moment for 5 minutes? You breathe deeply and you write down what is happening in your life. This is really quieting the mind and taking distance as well. But today my main topic is this one. I'd like to introduce another framework. One could say, and it is definitively so, it is related to a universal wisdom or shamanism. And this is a framework working with the elements and really coming back to a quiet mind, coming back to strengths, working with fire, with water, with the air, Michaela, and also the earth. You all know that I am a shaman, so I do work with these elements as well. And there is a guiding principle when we work like this. We consider these elements as living forces, as real partners, not at all as tools or as elements without any consciousness. In shamanism, in universal wisdom, we know that we all share the same consciousness. So this is also to say that we aim for a relationship with these elements and we pay respect to them and gratitude and we practice. And what are the benefits for us? The first benefit I would like to highlight, which is not so expressed on this slide, is a quiet mind, calmer mind. We become very clear when we take decisions and our energy is steady. We become stronger, much stronger. I would like to highlight we become stronger on the physical side, emotional side, and also psychic side. So what does it bring us to work with the fire? And for those who have already worked with me, they know that we sometimes go out and we light a fire outside and we work with this fire as well. But the energy of the fire is really the energy of transformation. So we use the fire for purification, to release past or elements which are still causing some stress, some pain. And it is also to energize our intentions. So it can be a bonfire, it can be a candle, or it can even be a visualized flame, a visualized fire. And I'd like to mention here that when I do healing work, I visualize a fire into which I bring everything which has to be transformed. So what are the benefits you may have also at work? Well, you have a greater clarity And you really reframe your anxiety and your fears into something constructive or into action. So how can you do it? There are here on these miscellaneous slides several possibilities how you can work with the fire. I'd like to highlight this one. You simply take a candle and you look at it before you have a major task. It brings you to a quiet mind. Then you also name what you want to release, and you name also what you want to ignite. And you redefine your focus. In many traditions, the fire acts as a messenger between the human beings and, let's say, the spirit world. So you can release fear, emotional heaviness, and stagnation. So when you go out and you make a fire, be extremely conscious of what you do, because it is real power for transformation. There are many rituals around the fire. This is here a very brief information what can be done. I'd like now to move on to water. The element water is the element of emotions, of intuition, and of memory. And the water work is really connected with emotional healing, with softening inner blocks, and restoring also the energetic flow. So the water, it can be a river, it can be simply the rain, it can be bathing, so you go out for a bath in the sea, but it can also simply be a bowl of water you put on an altar for transparency. The water in universal wisdom is seen as a carrier of information, and it can hold intention and reflect what is hidden. I'm sure you have already experienced this, that when you go on a walk along a lake or a river, you feel a certain calm. It is also said that water is the symbol of our subconscious. Water immediately brings us to peace, unless it is a very, very rough sea. When you go out bathing, swimming, be it in a sea or in a lake, take a very conscious attitude, and you can say to yourself, I now release everything that is foreign to me. And you will feel immediately that your body relaxes, that your body becomes lighter. Yet it has to be consciously expressed. So you see here the benefits you can also experience at work. Water really de-escalates the stress responses you may have, everything which is being blocked within your body. And then you are in a better condition to listen carefully to others. How to work with it, you can read it. I don't need to read for you and say it out loud. But these are very simple practices you can use for yourself. Water is really about softening, letting go, be in movement. By the way, on my altar here at home, I have a glass of water. And on this altar, I have pictures of very dear people and beloved persons. And this glass of water is really creating a greater transparency, easing also communication with them, even though they are not physically here anymore. Then we come to the element air. The element air is the element of movement, of breath, of voice, and also spirit. And that is everything which is related to the wind, to breathing, to sound. And ideas also belongs to this element air. So through the air, we cleanse the space, we move stagnant energy, and we receive insight or inspiration. So everything which is related to breathing practices, chanting, and also smoke rituals are related to this element air. I'd like to mention here another technique which is not on the slide. It is smudging. Smudging means that you burn some dried herbs, for example, white sage. White sage is very, very powerful to release, transform blocked energies or destructive energies. You can also burn some resin, for example, copal. So these elements, especially in healing practices, are extremely important. And this is also from my side an invitation to you to think about it. When you are at home, or when you come at home after a very busy work day and you feel heavy, you feel that you have carried a lot, or you have inside your body still a lot of stress, the simple fact of burning white sage and or copal or other resins does release a lot of stress and pressure from your body. And then we come, by the way, before I move on to the earth, open a window. This is a reason why when I conduct seminars, most of the time, even in winter time, even when it is cold weather, there is an open window. Why? Because this air has to circulate. Because when we work like this, a lot of transformation work is being done, and this has to circulate, it has to go out. I would love also to mention this, depending on the healing work you perform on someone or for someone, if you have closed windows and this transformation is kind of blocked within the room, it can break down a window. You may smile, but this is truth. And now I come to the element earth and what it brings. The element earth really is about stability. It is about grounding. It is about also resources. It is also about boundaries. So earth restores strength, earth provides support, and it connects us to the physical world. And on earth, implicitly, there is the principle of beauty. So working with this element earth means walking, for example, barefoot. It is working with stones. Stones, by the way, are the eldest ancestors we have. And once you have recovered all your capabilities, you can speak, communicate directly with stones. This we experience very fast on this, let's say, reconnection journey. You can speak with trees, with the soil. So the earth really helps calming anxiety and really returning to our body, feel our body, and feel rooted and very safe. When you go out on a walk and you see a wonderful tree, it is not simply seeing the tree, it is necessary to feel its power and its strength, to really be conscious about the beauty of this tree and its power. The tree has its roots going down very, very down into the earth, and with its branches and its leaves, it reaches out to the sky. So approach this tree, lean against this tree for a couple of minutes, and what is going to happen? You are going to come to a quiet mind. Because the tree and yourself, you share the same frequencies. So if within your body there is a turmoil, by simply doing this little exercise, you will come to a quiet mind. And then, of course, you express your gratitude for what the tree has given you. There is another element I'd like to mention. When we looked at the first slide mentioned emotions. And we can say sometimes that we have an emotional turmoil within ourselves. Well, we are not our emotions. What are we? As human beings, you all know that we have a core essence. And in shamanism, this core essence is called our totality. In our totality, we have the purity of thoughts. So when we have on our past people who are, how shall I say, getting on our nerves, it is really necessary to differentiate what is happening. Most of the time, some people stress us because they convey certain messages, certain energy, I would love to say. But this is not what they are. In their core, in their essence, they have and they share the same purity as we all do. So what I am saying here, it is that it is necessary to have compassion and be conscious that what this person may say to us is not truth, because truth originates from our totality, from this core essence. And to get back to this core essence, to really experience the whole beauty we carry within ourselves, we have to go on that path back to our totality. This is, by the way, the path we do, or some people experience, also with me, experiencing this program titled La Voie du Secret ou Retour à ta totalité, the path to secret or return to your totality. And it is a marvelous journey. Just this in bracket, but it's absolutely important. So remember, whatever you experience, you are not your emotions, and the people expressing whatever they express towards you, even if it's painful, it's not the person itself. It's not her true essence speaking. It's the whole construct or the disease affecting the person. So from emotion, we can go back to clarity using these elements, which are really powers. They are friends. They are partners. They are constructive energy. So with the fire, we can decide what to release and what to commit to. The water regulates the emotional wave. The air reframes a story and refreshes our options. And the earth anchors the next small action we may decide to take today. Another couple, or a few couple other practices you can perform on your own with the fire, with the water, with the air, and with the earth or on the earth. These are all invitations from me to you. Sometimes the practices to come back to a quiet mind are extremely simple. It simply needs us to be aware about what we are surrounded. We are permanently surrounded with these elements. So we can welcome them. We can be very conscious about them and also grateful. So start if not already started, start building a relationship, especially people who feel disconnected, who feel an emptiness, who lack orientation, who are faced to step into a new life phase, into a new position, into a new direction, not yet clearly defined. Build a relationship with these elements and you will grow much stronger, and trust in your life path will grow. So you see here again another or some other invitations. Notice daily the wind on your face, the pool of the water, the steadiness of the earth on which you stand, this earth which is also our mother. Be also conscious of the signal of the flame or the fire. And then be aware of the shifts in your mood. Are you becoming clear in your head? Are you becoming clear about your next step? And each time, always express gratitude. Abundance starts with gratitude. So our journey will continue next week. I'd like to highlight again this sentence for your well-being, because this whole series in the end is about well-being, recovering well-being, or maintaining well-being. Being present, your presence is your true power. So step into it with awareness, moment by moment. And I stress it, moment by moment. Be present. This is your strongest power within you. If you wish to experience more with me, my invitation is again to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I am really now developing more and more. Just today, I uploaded a video in the playlist Universe and Origin. The other playlists are Inside Power, Outside Results. And this is really the whole work we are doing also here together. Then Mental Health Reset, Thriving Inside Out. There are also meditations in English, but also in German. For the time being, not yet in French, but little by little, I will also create some in those two languages. Most for the time being, my main language has been English, but I want also to address these other two audiences, since I do speak the languages. And Fearless Free Feminine is a program which I have designed a couple of years back. It seems to be addressed mainly to women because of the last expression, but it's not really the case, because the word feminine here refers to the feminine principle we all carry within our bodies, both men and women. And to experience equality in every man, in every woman, these two principles have to be at the same level, and then we do experience equality. This is really also a program which provides you a lot of strength and power and connection with your totality, with who you truly are. So on that playlist, you will find some teasers regarding this whole program. So we have come already at the end of our journey today. Thank you so much. I am so grateful that you joined so faithfully. Thank you for your appreciation. And I will be seeing you next week.